In February last year, a few days after eNCA began asking questions, the Public Works Department admitted it had just started the process of possibly blacklisting companies that worked on the Nkandla project.
I've written to all of them and listed their directors and indicated the issues that have been raised in the SIU report and the amounts involved, and asked them to indicate to me within 14 days of receipt of those, because they are registered letters, why I should not restrict them for 10 years in terms of the treasury regulation process.
So when did you write to them?
On yesterday, because the meeting with SIU was on Tuesday. I issued those letters yesterday.
Fast forward to June 2018, and the department doesn't have much more to say when asked if Nkandla service providers have been blacklisted.
I will say not yet. What we have done as a department is that we have written to the 6 service providers concerned, and our intentions of writing to them was, 1, to tell them of our intention to restrict them from doing any business with any government department or entity, but secondly, for them to make representations as to why we should not restrict them.
Ngobo says only 2 of 6 companies have responded, which begs the question, will tougher action follow?
Have you laid criminal charges against these companies who defrauded the Department of Public Works?
All I'm trying to say, Mngambi, is that the National Department of Public Works is not a law enforcement agency. Wherever there is an element of criminality or fraud, we refer those matters to law enforcement agencies. In this case, I think everyone is aware that the SIU is pursuing some criminal cases around the Nkandla project.
Have you tried to recoup the monies that they stole from government?
But remember, recouping comes after criminal charges, somebody being found guilty. Once those processes are done, then it's very clear then from there how do you move in terms of recouping all those monies, if there are monies that needed to be recouped. But the court and the SIU processes will determine those.
Last year, eNCA also exposed the continued involvement of RNG consultants' directors in mega government projects such as this multi-billion rand Gauteng housing construction. RNG Consultants is the quantity surveyor that was responsible for determining the costs of the Nkandla project. A former employee who worked as an architect for a RNG subsidiary has had his professional certificate revoked by South Africa's architectural body. Nkandla, a Zimbabwean national, has been found to have obtained his permanent residence permit fraudulently.
We've declared him as a person who's illegal in the country. That's why now the next process for us was to deport him. But because now he's taken the matter to the court, we'll wait now for that process. Once it is finalized, then we'll be able to deport him.
eNCA has learned that Mr. Ndlovu is also desperate to keep his FNB bank account open. Asked for a comment on camera, FNB replied with this short statement. It says it's aware of the pending court process and will monitor developments, but because of privacy issues, it can't disclose any further information. Immigration law expert Chris Waters says FNB's response is curious.
That's an unusual scenario. I'll be honest, I have not come across the banks responding in that way prior to this. It might well be that they're taking a long view and saying, well, we don't want to find ourselves being sued because the account our client, our erstwhile client, may end up suing us as a result of the damages that he sustains.
Waters says banks usually suspend access to accounts if a foreign national's permanent resident status is revoked. In email correspondence seen by eNCA, the Home Affairs Department notified FNB of Ndlovu's illegal status as early as December 2017. The department, however, says it can't force FNB to take action. Attempts to get a comment from Ndlovu have been unsuccessful. Xoli Mngambi, Johannesburg.